What I eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner today is so different from what I ate years ago when I moved from South Central Europe to the United States. I was much younger. I didn't know how to cook, so I ate whatever was readily available. I ate donuts for breakfast, a burger and fries for lunch, slice or two of pizza for dinner with a side of ice cream. Besides my waistline that got bigger, I also noticed that I had just a lot of inflammation in my body. My skin was breaking out, and I just felt very tired, exhausted all the time, had no energy. After a while, after a lot of trials and errors, without really realizing right away what was going on, I changed my diet. I learned how to cook. And so today I'm going to walk you through my breakfast, lunch, dinner examples, and also some things that I love to keep at home so that I always have something to make some food and not really be tempted to go and get something that was just easy and full of empty calories that are going to just make me hungrier and crave more sugar. The whole another topic is it's so easy to fall to temptations and choose the wrong foods. That I can save for another day, but by having the right kind of foods at home, you can really be on the right track and keep your healthy diet a lifestyle. I didn't know what exactly I needed to give up in order to lose weight. Once I realized that it's not really giving up food, but actually replacing the food I was eating with more nutrition and something that is not going to spike my insulin and it's going to keep me full for longer, I started to lose weight. I realized that I had to eat a lot of fiber. I didn't necessarily have to take all the sweets out of my life, which was great because I want to have some carbs in my life and I don't want to deprive myself completely. Don't want to do any extremes and just follow some extreme diets that are not going to be sustainable because I'm not going to stick with them. And so all my efforts are just going to go down the drain. Once I realized what foods I really needed to bring into my diet and what foods to take out of my diet, I started losing weight. So I realized that I had to bring a lot of fiber to my diet. I had to bring in protein. I had to reduce sugar. So I start my morning with this wonderful plate. Sometimes it has a little different berries and a little different fruit. But basically, have some fruit on the plate. Watermelon, for example, is 90% water, and it keeps me full. It also has fiber. Fruit in general has fiber, so it keeps you full. So it's not only the juice of the fruit, it's the whole fruit that really makes a difference. I usually have something sweet for breakfast, and I really want to keep it that way because I don't want to give up carbs completely. I don't want to be deprived, and so this is pretty much what my morning plate looks like. I sometimes have a little bit different breakfast where I have some cereal, I have oatmeal with some berries, and sometimes I just make a yogurt parfait where I have a little bit of yogurt and I add some berries, maybe a banana, some chocolate chips, a little bit of honey, but many times I don't even need honey because fruit is sweet enough and you don't need to really make it any sweeter. So lots of healthy options, lots of fruit, and also some refined carbs, which as long as I have them in the morning, it really doesn't make that much difference. For lunch, I will usually have some form of eggs. Many times I mix them with some vegetables or with shrimp, and I make a wonderful meal. It keeps me full for the rest of the day. Every time I buy food, I also think of my meals during the week. So I really want to make sure that I have some ingredients that'll make several meals during the week. That way I don't have to worry about being without food, and I don't have to worry about going to a fast food chain for something fast and not healthy when I can actually make it at home in 30 minutes. My favorite two things that I like to keep in the house are these two. This is feta cheese. Feta cheese is probably the healthiest type of cheese you can have. And then this plain Greek yogurt, that's the one I was telling you about, where you can make some yogurt parfait. And so this dish has some of this feta cheese in it. It has a little bit of rice and olive oil, and it's fantastic. I also love this peanut butter. That's with peanut butter, you kind of have to be careful because sometimes those already packaged peanut butters that you buy that are sitting on the shelf have all kinds of ingredients, and they can really be not so good for us. So if you have your, if you just grind your own at the grocery store, that's the best kind because you know it's just peanuts in there and there is nothing to worry about. But if you have to buy a packaged one, just make sure it says only peanuts and maybe a little bit of salt, but that's about it. No other ingredients should be in your peanut butter. I also keep these on hand. These are olives. I get them from an olive bar and I love them because they're such a satisfying snack. And olive really keeps me full. And if I have some cravings for food or sugar in the middle of the day, I really grab an olive, and that does a terrific job of curbing my appetite. And sometimes if I'm really hungry, I grab a couple of olives before I start dinner, and that totally calms me down. And that way I don't overeat. So that's really something I can suggest. Let's cut up this cauliflower. It came out really good and it really looks fantastic. I will have to try some right now. So this is meat that I prepared earlier. It really doesn't need meat because broccoli and cauliflower both have a lot of protein, but I will have a few pieces. Adding a little bit of spice is always good because it speeds up the metabolism. Broccoli is beautiful. Also cauliflower, a little bit of rice, basmati rice, and some of the nice little pieces of meat. So let's do a taste test. A little bit crunchy. I love the flavors of feta cheese. So good. You really don't need the meat for this, but it's okay to add it. I also love it without meat. It's very light and at the same time filling. Cauliflower and feta cheese gives it just a special touch and special flavor. You really need to try using feta cheese. It makes a difference.